Richard, this year, I mean, your role, you're with a lot of young guys, you're a building team. I mean, it's different than the role you had in Seattle. You had a lot of peers, accomplished guys, you kind of grew up there together. It seems like you've taken to this, you know, whether it was in the spring, go-karts, or, you know, taking the guys to dinner, whatever it's been. Has this been a natural thing for you?
Yeah, just, you know, I knew what I was coming into, you know, a bunch of young guys. But I know, you know, try to relate to them, try to bring them together and, you know, get them to play good ball. You know, you can never foresee this many injuries happening in the season. I don't think anybody can predict that. But you can do your best to lead them the best way I know how, and that's what I try to do.
I want to ask this delicately, but Robert Saleh just said you're a great teammate. You've always been a great teammate. I think there's a perception, whenever it's people see you, hey, there's Richard, you know, getting upset and yelling at an offense coordinator. Richard maybe didn't love his quarterback in Seattle, whatever it's been. So there's a perception of, well, maybe this guy hasn't been a great teammate. Do you understand that perception? And do you
No, because my teammates have never said it.
Right.
You know, it's one of those things that's kind of made up somewhere in somebody's head, and then a bunch of people say it, but the people who matter never say it. You know, I've never heard of a teammate calling me a bad teammate. I've never been mentioned as a bad teammate, and I'm pretty sure I'll never be mentioned as a bad teammate to anybody because I'm not. But, you know, people can make up anything when you're not searching for the truth. When you just want to make a story, you can make it about anything. You know, nobody's searching for the truth these days. Sensationalism is everything. So you can make a headline and say, Richard Sherman yelled at his offensive coordinator. He's not a great teammate. You know, Richard Sherman said he didn't have a relationship with the quarterback. He's not a great teammate. It's like, it's cool story, you know, but there's not a lot of truth to it. You know, if people were looking for the truth, then they'd understand I've been a great teammate probably my entire time in the league, you know, because that's one of the things I value most. I don't really care about public perception. That really doesn't matter to me. But what my teammates think about me and how I carry myself in the locker room and with my teammates means a great deal. I care very little for the opinions of people outside the locker room. You know, if they say, "Oh my God, this guy's he's the devil. He does this. He yelled at this guy. He mushed this guy. He talked trash to this guy. Man, I just rubbed me the wrong way." Like, that doesn't bother me. I don't care about that because at the end of the day, they don't move the needle for me either way. At the end of the day, the only thing that I really care about is the guys that I go to battle with all the time, day in, day out. The guys that we, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, you go out there and fight with every day. Those are the guys whose opinions matter the most.
I've never called you the devil.
I appreciate that.
That's your face.
Not yet.
There's been a lot of young guys, sticking with the same theme, but there have been a lot of guys playing, you know, recently, and you seem to have gone, I don't know, out of your way, just a natural thing because they've been playing well, but, you know, to really build them up and talk them up after the last couple of games. Is that, I mean, do you think about that? Like, hey, you know, I'm going to give them a little boost? I mean, just as a leader, or it's just coming natural? I
think it just comes natural. I just, you know, I appreciate the work. You watch guys work hard, you know, and it's not like I go in like, ooh, Marcel needs a boost today, or I'm going to talk Spoon up. You know, when guys play well, it's not like it always gets noticed by the public, you know. So you want to make sure that guys get the recognition that they deserve. Marcel Harris to go through what he went through and to come in as a rookie, not expected to contribute very much and have to be thrown in to what he's been thrown into and to play like he's played is remarkable. And Anton Exum hasn't gotten enough credit to, you know, he was a strong safety, only playing strong safety. They kind of pulled him up during OTAs, not really expecting him to make team, I don't think. And he's been invaluable. You know, I don't know if we win, shoot, any of those games without him, you know, playing the way he's played. You know, he came in to a position he didn't know, he wasn't well, you know, versed on because he had only played strong safety and played free safety and played it well and has saved us numerous times. And you just want guys to get the appreciation they deserve. You know, in a season like this, things aren't going right, things aren't going well. But, I mean, if you look at it, for us to have the injuries we've had in the secondary and still be top 10 in yards, it's crazy, outrageous. You know what I mean? I still can't believe it. But it's just guys, you know, coaches like D'Amico and Hafley and DB and Ferg and just coaching their behinds off. Z, Kiff, All those guys are just coaching their behinds off regardless. They're not making excuses. They're not saying, oh, woe is me, we got another injury, or woe is me, we lost another linebacker, or woe is me, like, man, like, why can't we shake this curse? Like, they're just like, next man up, we're going to coach our butts off, and we're going to give us the best chance to win. Like, we just kept the playoff team to 14 points, held them to 14 points, and it should have been less than that. With a bunch of guys that I'm sure most people can't name outside of you guys, you know, off the top of their heads. And that's more of a testament to the coaching.
Speaking of young guys, what's impressed you about Elijah Lee? Like when Reuben Foster went down, a lot of outsiders may have thought that would have been a death blow for your defense. He's such a good player. But as you just said, you guys have played a lot of your best defense recently, and he's been on the field. I mean, what have you seen from him?
I've seen growth. I think early on the moment might have been big for him. You know, he had to come in and spot play when Rube got hurt. But the second time around when he came in and Rube got cut, he came in with a confidence. He's tackling, he's playing fast, he's thinking fast. I think he's seeing the game better just in terms of the box movements, the pulls, the guards sitting light, the tackles, the quarterback play, et cetera, et cetera. I think everybody, it's just continuity. I think in this defense, it always works better when you have continuity, when you just have the same guys in the lineup over and over and over, so guys get a good feel for where guys are, how guys are going to play certain things. Then everybody can play fast. That's why you see guys getting to the ball more guys getting to the ball, more strips, more everything, because guys aren't thinking anymore. They know exactly where each other is going to be, and they're just playing off of them.
Will you look at tape with guys?
Say that one time.
Will you watch tape with guys?
I will early on. We watch a ton of tape as is, but a lot of times at this point it's not even about like going over like, oh man, it's subtleties. It's the subtleties. It's this split, this alignment. Hey, when they give us this split, this alignment, I need you to be here. Hey, he's going to crack you. You're going to be put in a vulnerable position. I'm going to play off you and save you. So like, it's more of the subtleties that you have to, the intricacies that you have to get throughout the week. And I think guys are getting better at that because they've seen the reps so many times now.
See, with that, you look at the last play of the game, the one where Tavares forced the fumble on that. I mean, do you go over with him at the line of scrimmage, a guy who's learning how, first year playing cornerback, hasn't been put in that situation, too often in a game situation. So will you go over that with him and be like, if it's just a technique thing here or whatever?
Coach Haf, that's why the coaches get paid to coach. I can't overstep the bounds. Now I'll coach him to a degree. I'll say this is what I thought you should have did better. But at the end of the day, Haf is going over each play with him. He's meeting with them early, he's meeting with them late, and he deserves the credit. You can't. I'm not going to take that credit from him. For the extra work with Marcel Harris and DJ Reed. That's all I have. Just getting those guys to get aligned and play fast and know the plays when this guy motions or this guy moves or the back moves here or the back moves there. I think he deserves a lot more credit than he's getting, but incredibly impressed.
How much is it going to change the dynamic in the offseason? All the young guys you mentioned are possibly competing for starting jobs, whereas last offseason there wasn't necessarily so much competition for those.
Competition breeds the best out of everybody. I think that's going to be that's what's going to make this offseason really cool and really powerful because it'll be open competition. I'm sure the depth charts will be wiped for the most part, and it'll give everybody a fair shot to earn a spot. And when you have that, I think it brings a different element out of guys. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but you see guys for who they are and what they are.
What's the difference between you going into week 17 versus going to week 1 physically?
Physically, I feel a ton better. I out-jumped everybody in the vertical in the last testing we just did. I'm pretty proud of that. Old man got them.
Even young guys?
All of them. I was the highest vert of all the skill position, period.
Yeah, can you tell us your?
Yeah, we're not going to go over numbers, guys.
What was it going into the season when you're still?
It was super. It was. I wasn't up there. I wasn't up near the top, honestly. But as the season's progressed, I've gotten stronger. I've gotten better. My body has finally gotten into football shape, and I can move like I want to move. My muscles are accustomed to the grind of the season. That's the thing. Your muscles are tired all the time. Your body. I'm still tired from rehab. Throughout the season. So my body is finally kind of kicked back into gear.
Kind of following up on that.
Sure.
How, you had the challenge of coming off the injury and then the season. Obviously, the record has been challenging. How challenging has this been for you?
Well, honestly, you can control the things you can control. As I've gotten older, I've realized that you can't control injuries. You can control your effort, your attitude, and your approach. And that's all I've tried to control. My health has gotten better, so that's kind of put me in better spirits. You can't control the records. You know, you go out there and you play as hard as you can, and you look up and hope you got more points than them at the end. Unfortunately, we haven't had more points than in most games this season, but we've seen growth, and that's the thing that's encouraging to me is you've seen growth from players, and you expect to get the guys back that makes our team. You know, we get some difference makers back next year, and I'm sure they'll add some. But you go through things like this to get stronger and to get better, and I think we'll be a stronger team for it.
You talked about being there for the young guys. Who's there for you when, you know, maybe your spirits aren't as high?
Oh, I got a wife. You know, when you're a grown man, you got a wife. She's been there from the beginning, so she's dealt with the ups and downs and rounds for years. So she knows how to keep me pretty grounded, and I got 2 kids, so it's hard to have bad days when you come home and your kids say, "Oh, Daddy, you're home." You know, they don't know if you won or you lost. You know, my son actually knows now. He'll be like, "Dad, you guys lost today." He's like, "But I still love you." And I was like, "Oh, well, you know, I got a chance then. I got a chance." But at the end of the day, you know, you go home to family and you understand that, you know, kind of gives you perspective.
How much unknown was there for you in your mind coming off that injury and maybe not knowing how this was going to go for you from beginning of the season to the end?
I think there's a ton of unknown. You know, I had never torn my Achilles. I'd never missed that many games. I had never sat for that long in the off season, so you never know how your body's going to respond coming back. You know you're going to have the strain, muscle strains and everything, just trying to get your body back acclimated to the grind of the season. But you know you may have you may get a grade 1 hamstring and an ankle sprain, or you may rip your hamstring off the bone. You know, you never know how it's going to go. You know, but you just hope for the best and just keep pushing.
I'm not asking you to bash anybody, but you're talking about the competition this offseason. In hindsight, do you wish maybe there was more competition in the last offseason?
It would have been difficult. It would have been difficult to figure out, you know, because competition, you need competitive. You need competition at every spot, and I'm not sure we necessarily had that. You know, we had guys at every spot, but you didn't have guys that were starting caliber NFL players necessarily right off the bat. You know, we had a bunch of young guys who were developing into that. You know, guys are light years ahead of where they were 6-7 months ago. And next year, I'm sure they'll bring in more veterans and more guys that just have played NFL football, you know, and know how to approach the game every day in, day out. I think guys are still learning a routine this offseason, so it would have been difficult to say, hey, open competition with guys, and it's like, oh, this guy doesn't even know the place. So, I mean, it's not really a fair competition to him, you know. So you just, you know, each season is its own beast.
When you look at the way that Fred has communicated the signals to the defense now versus very early in the season is a huge jump.
Yeah, it's huge difference. I mean, he's just so he's a commander now. You know, I think early on, you know, and it's no knock on him. It's just a rookie. You know, you have to call every play, and in this world, in the football world, rookies are seen and not heard. You know, so you're a rookie Mike linebacker, and you're like, I got to call the plays, but I don't want to overstep. I don't want to, you know. And now he knows that, you know, you call the plays, you have full command of the defense. What you say is what we do. You know, and I think even moments where we don't necessarily get a play call in on time, or the offense is hurrying up and kind of catching us off guard, he'll calmly give us a play, bang, when we're playing good football. And I think those moments are very underrated.
Circling back to Hafley, now that you had a full season to work with him, get to know him, how he operates, what has impressed you about him?
His preparation is some of the best I've seen. You know, I've had some great defensive back coaches, some great defensive coaches, defensive minds, and he's right up there. He's with his preparation and how he breaks down film and how easy and simple he makes the game plan sound, and how easy he makes it for guys to understand. Like, he paints a very vivid picture of what you're going to see, and it's all about executing. Like I've tried to explain to you guys over and over, like they give us the plays a lot of times. A lot of times they prepare us really well, and it's like you got to still go out there and execute. You got to go out there and do what you're coached to do what you practiced, and I think we've gotten better at that as the season progressed.
You mentioned some veterans. Are you going to be on the recruiting trail in the offseason?
Oh, if they need me to be, you know, I have no problem with it. I think this is a pretty attractive destination as is, but you know, money is the best recruiter. But you know, I'll do my 2 cents. You know, I'll go give the best recruiting pitch, and if they say, hey, we got $7 for you, you know, it's not going to matter. And I could do the worst recruiting pitch, and if they pay him like a top player, you know, money talks.
Earl Thomas fitting in here?
Earl Thomas can fit anywhere he wants to fit. You know, would I love to play with Earl V. Thomas III? Sure, I would love to. I'd love to have him back in the locker room. but I'm sure he'll have a plethora of opportunities, but I'm sure we're going to throw our hat in the ring.
All right, guys.
Thank you.